Wow, I knew I was going to have some kindred spirits out here. So, wow. Okay, so my name's Beth. I'm an introvert. I also live in Tacoma, so I hope you don't hold that against me if we've got some Tacoma people out here. I know there are some introverts out there because while everybody else was up here with their house of cards, I saw you out there reading your books, kind of illuminated by your computer screens. So for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about I'm going to bust some myths using truth, lies, and lots of stock photography. And why introverts? Well, if you're an introvert, you're familiar with the fact that it takes courage to grow up and be an introvert. Despite being about 50% of the population, we live in a very extroverted world. And you really need look no further than the typical office party that is probably put together by extroverts, but the introverts refer to this as forced fun. So, so first I want to cover what an introvert is not, because introverts are often largely misunderstood. Introverts are not people who don't know how to have a conversation. We're not inherently shy, nor are we socially disabled. And contrary to what we often see in the media, introverts are not serial killers in training. Because often we will see the person who has committed some sort of egregious crime, and the neighbor will say, oh, he was really quiet, he always kept to himself, I think he was an introvert. And so let's kind of separate that out. Being alone does not make you a serial killer. What an introvert is it's somebody who gets their energy from solitude, drains energy from too much social interaction. Extroverts are the opposite. They get energy from lots of people, and they drain energy if they have too much time alone. I hope you can see this, but we've got the introvert. Again, this is a visual where we turn inward for our energy, whereas the extrovert is opening their arms wide and taking in everything from the outside. And so as introverts, we've got lots of fabulous company. Some of you might recognize one of those gentlemen there as Bill Gates. We also have Warren Buffett, Ayn Rand, Queen Elizabeth, Jackie O. So we've got lots of famous introverts that are making their mark in the world. And then, if there's any question about introverts being loners, we have introverts who have founded some of the biggest social and professional networks that we have today, including our own Laura Felton of Biznick. We've got Facebook, BNI, and Twitter. And take a deep breath. So I talk about introvert superpowers. It's kind of appropriate that they're cats because I think cats are introverts. And so I'm going to share with you 5 superpowers that introverts have that help them rock the business world. And the first one is that introverts are self-contained. We tend to be independent by nature, which makes us great entrepreneurs. We carry our energy around with us, and we look internally for our wisdom, as opposed to needing to look to the external world. The second superpower that we have is that we value depth over breadth. So we're able to stay with complicated issues for a longer period of time when most people would have given up, and we're less likely, not immune to, but less likely to be distracted by bright, shiny objects. Now, number 3, I want to dedicate this to Emily, our second speaker, because I know from talking to her beforehand that she's an introvert. And I would love if you all give her a round of applause, because she embodied calm, cool, and collected. Thank you, Emily. And the fourth superpower is that we're workhorses. So if you have read Good to Great, you're familiar with level 5 leadership. And Jim Collins talks about the workhorse leader, and that is the person who is quiet, deliberate, self-effacing, humble, likes to work behind the scenes. He never says introvert, but those are all words that describe introverts. So if anyone questions if introverts can lead, that's where you can look for information. The fifth superpower, the final one, is that we are look before you leap people. So when we're approaching a task or a topic, we go through the steps of ready, set, go. That helps us clean up the messes that are made from the people who leap before they look and kind of go, and then they say, oops, what did we do? So the bottom line is that introverts make the world go round. We are the architects, the engineers, the Microsoft employees, the artists, the musicians, the performers, the actors, the entrepreneurs, and we add tremendously to the quality of life. So as an introvert, you can rock anything you want, because success is an inside job. And I'm wondering of the introverts here, who is ready to rock their superpowers? Woohoo! Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you're an extrovert, an introvert, or if you refuse to be put into a box or labeled. Be yourself, because everyone else is already taken. So thank you very much for your time.